Hi, I'm Paige here with thepollbook.com. I am so overjoyed to be here with Miss Talia Jade, the illustrious pole star. She just recently danced with J-Lo at the halftime show, which let's just dive right in. Tell us about the halftime show.
Oh wow, the halftime show. I was so grateful and blessed that I was able to grace the stage next to Jennifer Lopez, the queen herself. But it was a whirlwind. It was a lot of rehearsals. It was six pole dancers. It was myself. Johanna Sapaki was our lead. We have Crystal Castrata, Sheila Buford, and Egypt, which is Donisha, and Ermingard, who is also from the East Coast. So it was a whirlwind. I mean, first they wanted singles and they wanted doubles and they wanted singles. So it was a whirlwind on trying to figure out, trying to get the creative concept and bring it to life while Johanna and I were working. But it was constant hours of rehearsal. We definitely, had bruises on our legs like you do in the beginning because we're
Oh my
constant.
God.
Let's change this, or let's add this split, or let me hold you up in this position, see if that works. So, you know, just the leading up to the day of the Super Bowl, it was a whirlwind. But to hear the crowd hearing and know that there's about over 60,000 people there just
Oh my
cheering
gosh.
and loving it, and even the fans that got to stand right by the stage were like, "You're amazing," and that was incredible. And so
Yeah.
it was definitely a rush and something that I've never experienced before, even though I've done a million different types of shows, worked with other artists. Being in a on a stage on such magnitude like that, it was just amazing. And the fact that, bringing pole fitness, pole everything to the mainstream, it feels like we're moving forward, and exactly what the pole community wants is to show the world that we are athletes, like just like the 49ers were. I mean, we might
Right.
be smaller, but we are definitely athletes, and we hang upside down with our hands
Right.
and legs. So, I think it was great to see in the fact that we had such positive feedback around us,
Yes.
and including J-Lo's camp. Even Shakira's dancer, they're like, "You are a bomb girl,"
That's
and they're doing
awesome.
and bowing down as they're watching, like, "That's amazing." And
I
I
love
did an upright Shayna split, and someone was like, "That needle thing was amazing. Like, I don't even know how you did that." So, it was such a positive experience, and I love that Jennifer supported us and wanted us to trick it out.
it.
Once they said go ham, they're like, "No, we want it to be like if you were in a performance or at a club and everyone's just doing everything." And so that's why everyone, you saw Machine Gun, you saw a handspring, you saw a
Yes.
Jade, a Shayna split, someone did an Allegra, you saw someone did a ballerina. So like there were so many different things that we did, and pole tricks that we did, and
Yes.
just doing that and looking around, after we'd watch the video of rehearsals, we're like, we're doing it, we're doing all the things. And so after that, it was very emotional for us getting off stage, because we did something and we made history, not only for women but the pole community itself, because we
Yes.
have worked. There's still a stigma, and people are still talking about it. But however,
Yes. Yeah, so
we
I don't know about you, but because I'm so deep in the pole world,
yeah.
I forget that there's this whole other world of people out there who have no clue what we do. And some of those reactions have been a little bit shocking to me. Like, people have been like going crazy, oh, women power, and like these are strong women, and just very positive. But then there's been that flip side. Like, what's your response to that? Like the negativity that some people are putting out there.
Right. Well, I mean, as far as negativity goes, people will always have something to say. And now that we have the internet and
Yes.
social media to allow people to voice every single opinion they have, people just start to say things. So, with that said, they associate a bikini with something bad, but yet every day in the NFL, they're doing kick line, and they're
Yeah,
wearing
the cheerleaders.
yep, the cheerleaders every day in the NFL, every day in the NBA. They're wearing probably less clothes than us. I don't know. I mean, my boobs were covered up, but yet it was okay for them to show cleavage every
Right.
day in the NBA. So when people start talking about it, discussing what we wear for pole, or that it's not an art form, or it's not an Olympic type sport, it's not a sport at all, I'm just like, well, have you tried it? Have you tried it? Do you not know the history of pole? Have you looked up any other cultures that may have pole in it? For example, Chinese pole is brought into circus. I mean, we do a lot of the same tricks. So it's really funny to hear what people have to say. And especially with what we wear, swimmers in the Olympics, they're wearing Speedos.
Right.
Now,
Right.
they're wearing less than what we wear. So I find it really interesting that people have something horrible to say about it, but yet I'm sure most of the people that are commenting or making negative comments have never once done anything with a pole, let alone any kind of aerial arts. That also there is aerial pole, which we all know that is something very new. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? People are always gonna have something negative to say, but now I think with this becoming more mainstream, I think from what I'm reading, pole has become an official observation sport at the Olympics. I mean, the fact that that's even there too, I'm like, well, now it's going to become more mainstream. So if you're going to get mad at pole, might as well get mad at volleyball players, might as well get mad at swimmers, might as well get mad at synchronized swimmers. I mean, it's one of those things. So until I think someone is tried, or until we continue to educate, people aren't going to understand it until they decide to understand it.
Exactly. And, it is important. We were talking briefly before we started the interview that, people need to know the reason we wear minimal clothing is because we need that skin contact to keep us, to give us grip, and to keep us on the pole, because fabric does not stick. We will slip right off. However, J-Lo's outfit, I couldn't help noticing. She had the full body neoprene, spandex outfit. So she's basically wearing a figure skating costume, fully covered. I mean, from neck down.
Oh yeah.
Because she was using a special kind of pole. Can you talk a little bit about what kind of pole she was on?
Definitely. So Jennifer was using an X-Pole Light Stage silicone pole. So basically, the pole is rubber, similar to what Chinese pole, how their poles are now. I think they used to use a grip before, but I think now they discovered silicone, which is definitely easier. You don't get your hands messy with any kind of grip. They used to use a glue. However, Jennifer really wanted that because she knew that she was going to be fully clothed and not really showing any skin besides, like you said, like a figure skater costume where it has mesh. But yeah, I mean, she also had to use a microphone and touch people. So she knew that with a chrome pole, you can't really, touch too many people, as in waiting for tonight. There's so many people around her and people are grabbing her. She didn't want to worry about any kind of grip, and she uses tough skin, like Johanna and I, we use tough skin. So she didn't want to be worried about touching people or slipping or anything. So she's like, what kind of pole do we need? And then we're like, you need a silicone pole. So that way fully clothed. I've definitely tried silicone pole, and like you said, you need to be fully clothed. If not, your skin rips off.
Rips off. It hurts.
Girl, trunks will be missing. Trunks will be missing. So you have to be fully clothed for that. And then, we were running on a chrome pole. We were on some type of plexiglass.
Yeah, it was like the acrylic kind with the lights in it.
Yeah,
it was. Grip on that?
In humidity, it wasn't bad. So I didn't have to use much grip, but it was laying on wet grass before. So our person who would, So our person who would hand us the pole before, he would kneel and put it up so it wouldn't lay, so I can wipe it down with rubbing alcohol. So while she's in waiting for tonight, I'm rubbing down the pole with rubbing alcohol. I only put grip on my hands because the pole had a really crazy sway to it.
Yes,
and it was bigger than it was like a ride. I mean, it was like a ride, I want to say, like a very special ride that we made history, but it was a ride, to say the least. But yeah, it was some type of plexiglass with LED lights in it. It was quite heavy, and it was thicker than a 50 millimeter. So I want to say it was about maybe a 51 or 52.
Wow.
So not only did you have to get used to a completely different size.
Oh my God.
It was closer to a Chinese pole than
yeah. Did you get to practice on those poles beforehand, or was it like go time, good luck, basically?
So I think we touched it 3 times before we actually hit the stage.
This is like giving me anxiety right now.
Can you imagine? Like, this is your pole, okay? And we didn't really touch it until the first day we got to the stadium, and then we didn't have much time to plan it because there were so many other factors with Shakira's dancers and Jennifer's troupe as well. So we didn't have much time, but we definitely had a safety validation. There's always a safety validation. Feel it, rock it,
of course.
Kind of play with it, see what the mechanics are like for the spinning, how much you need to spin it So it was quite an experience. But I mean, we're all professional pole artists. So I think,
Yes. And that's
you
a
know,
testament to your professionalism because it looked clean, it looked put together. I mean, like it really looked flawless. I would never have imagined that that was like introducing, here's your pole, good luck.
yeah, I mean, it was pretty much like that. I mean, we did get a little bit of time, but not as much as you would think, like preparing for a show or preparing for a competition where you have, months on end to train
Right.
on the same type of spin, the same type of hole, whether it's chrome or stainless steel, and then, the same type of millimeter width. That
Right.
we
Right.
I don't think any of us, I mean, Johanna and I did play while we were in Cirque du Soleil with a pole that was definitely thicker than a 50, but it had a different type of a special Cirque du Soleil kind of film cover on it. It was very weird.
Oh, okay.
So but as far as that goes, I mean, we all handled it pretty well, considering we
Yeah.
got out, I don't know, maybe a total of 3 hours total between
Okay.
all days to actually work. And maybe I'm exaggerating, might even be less than that. I'm just trying to think of how many
Right.
times we got on it before we actually hit on the stage. So it, was,
Wow.
it wasn't
Well,
a lot. It wasn't like a full day.
kudos to you guys
Thank you.
for making that look so completely flawless. So, talking about your experience in Cirque du Soleil, how do you perceive, obviously pole dance has its own culture to
Yeah.
it. How does pole dance culture compare to Cirque culture? Because I feel like pole dancers, we a lot of times kind of inject ourselves and like consider ourselves part of the Cirque
Right.
like realm. But what are the similarities and differences there culturally?
I mean, they understand, as far as circus performers, meaning aerialists, people who have never really done pole before, they actually really respect the craft. Um, but they're like, "Oh, I want to try pole," and people who are fabulous on fabric, they get on it and they're like, "Oh no, this thing hurts. This thing is not for me." So there are a lot of similarities in the sense that, the training is very similar. We do a lot of inverts, whether it's on a hoop or fabric, or even, let's say, straps. There's a lot of I feel like they're very similar. However, there are some people, that I have come across that says pole is nothing of circus, even though there's Chinese pole in there. And
Right.
there's quite a few Cirque du Soleil shows that have pole in it, including, I did Michael Jackson Immortal World Tour. I did my pole act in it. There's Viva Elvis. There's also MJ1 now. There's
Hmm.
Lucia.
Hmm.
So there's quite a few shows. But I feel like for the most part, they're very similar in the sense that, they do support each other. So as our own culture, we for the most part, I think, help each other, and we post
Yes.
it on, like, "Oh my God, you can do it, you can do it." And I think the circus world is the same way. I think
Yes.
the only difference is, uh, the people who have not tried it,
Right.
uh, say things like, "Well, pole is not. If there's nothing athletic about that, I can do it because they do fabric." But yet they get on
Right.
it and can't even invert when it's spinning. I'm like, exactly. And why are you slipping? Well, because you need a type of grip. And I don't know, you wear clothes all the time, and we need a bikini or something that allows us to
Mm.
grip, whether it's a leotard with an open back, or make sure your armpits are not covered so you can grip the pole if you're going to do an armpit grip hold, and make sure our
Mhm.
elbows are not covered in case you want to do an elbow grip something. So, once they get on it, they quickly realize how difficult it is. But I think as far as the subcultures go, the people who have tried it and thought that it is amazing, whether it is Chinese pole or pole dance, I think they respect the craft.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not going to be for everybody because it does hurt, kind of like a hoop. Once you're on Lyra,
Yes.
it
Oh my
hurts
God.
too.
I thought
It
it would
hurts
be, I
too.
thought lyric, see, I did the same thing. I'm guilty. Guilty, guilty, because I did the same. I was like, oh, I've been polling for like 5 years. Lyra's easy. And I came down with these bruises like I have never seen. And I was like, what is this?
Oh yeah, I
So
mean,
different.
yeah, that knee hang or rolling on the side to get,
Oh,
it's a lot.
ugh.
So I feel like the cultures are the same in the sense that, people try to really help each other out, and they respect other crafts. And the same thing with pole. There's different styles. There's different types of way to pole dance, whether you're going to do a contemporary pole dance number or an exotic or straight up athletic, like a rocker number where you go shoulder mount to handstand. I
Right.
mean, almost,
Right.
that's gymnastics, except this way and not
Exactly.
this way, because that's what she's doing. So I think that people who actually have tried it respect it, but then, and similar in the sense that we support each other, we respect the craft, we love what we do. So yeah, I think they're similar in that aspect. I think it's its own culture, but I
Right.
do think they believe that pole dancing belongs in the circus. I do believe
Nice.
that. I, for the most
Okay.
part, yeah, I do believe
That's
that. Everyone
awesome.
loves it. I mean, people are are like, I can't believe that you were in the Super Bowl. My friends of mine, and they all talk about it. Even
Yeah.
my husband, he's like, my wife is in the Super Bowl, and they're like, oh my god, you're the like, that's amazing. She does pole, and then the people who know me are like, Talia was in the Super Bowl doing pole, and these are people who have been at O for 10 or more years. So
Right. Right.
they're
Very,
like, that's
see, and that's,
amazing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now you are educated in sociology,
Yeah.
as part of your college education. And so it's really interesting to hear your take on, on these subcultures and on like the subculture of pole and, exactly what you're talking about. I feel like one of the main, sorry, my voice is so bad. One of the main social mores in pole dance is you do not discourage another student. You do
Yeah.
not discourage or pick on another athlete.
Yeah.
Even backstage, at pole competitions, I love that like 9 out of 10 times at a backstage of a pole competition, we're all looking out for each other. Like, do you have this? I can get you this. And then like the second you're
Yeah.
done, you run to the audience and so you can cheer for the people you're competing against.
Right.
With your background in other dance traditions, how do you feel like that competitiveness differs from like, traditional dance events? And, I don't know if you did any competition like with that kind of, traditional dance. Do you feel like that aspect of it is different between pole and other dance styles?
Actually, I do, being that I was a ballerina. I trained at the
Mhm.
Miami Conservatory, and I competed with my dance team in high school and in college. And the difference that I see is, like you said, no one puts down another performer.
Yeah.
Meaning, in the pole community, the reason I love the pole community so much is we don't care what you look like. We don't care how small or big you are, how muscular you are, maybe not so muscular. Like, we don't care about that. What we want you to do is get up there and do your thing and be the best that you can be and continue to grow as an artist. If you want to go into one different style of pole dance, we're like, go ahead, do it. There's nothing stopping you.
Yeah.
If you want to do exotic just on the floor, get it, girl. Do all
Yeah.
the kicks you want to do. If you want to do more contemporary, get it, girl. Get on that and like be soft and lyrical and smooth. So that's the one thing I think I transferred more into the pole community, because no one looked at my body and said, you don't belong here. And that's
Yes.
what I love about the pole community, is that all is welcome, whether you are a beginner to the most professional. We all belong there. We all have something to give. We all have something to share. And the dance world, being a ballerina, it was like, well, Talia, I think you're a little bit overweight. You might need to lose 5 pounds. They don't appreciate the body the way I think pole dancers do, no matter what you look like. And that's
Right.
why I love the pole community, because in the dance community, and it is sharp. People talk about you. People say horrible things behind your back in the dance community,
Mhm.
and that's not in the professional world, because I think everyone, when you're professional, I think you are your own person when you become professional. But
Right.
leading up to that, it's like cutthroat.
Vicious.
People are like, well, why did she win? And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
why like that? The judges saw something in that artist versus you. So whatever it was, I mean,
Right.
I don't know what to tell
Right.
you, but the pole community, that's what I love about it. Like you said, you get off stage and everyone's cheering, because no matter what, we have something to give.
Yeah.
And we're all different performers, and we're
Yeah.
all different types of pole artists and different pole athletes.
Right.
So I think that's why I love the pole community so much. And I feel like it unites women
Mm.
versus be competitive with each other,
Yes.
that I think other subcultures don't do as much
Yeah.
as pole dance does, because we embrace everyone. So I
Exactly.
think that's the great positivity about pole dance. And I think Jennifer saw that, because we're like, girl, you got it. Like, in one of the rehearsals, Johanna's like, I see that you're playing now. You know, she goes, yeah, I'm just trying to do what I do, like, and enhance what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm just trying, and the fact that we, coming from us, she's like, you two make the pole your bitch. I'm just trying to get get something on the stage that's going to hit and quit the way I want it to look and sing at the same time, you know? So I think it embraces women, and the fact that we love everybody, embrace everybody is something very special that I think other subcultures and other, you know, let's say circus or, you know, synchronized swimmers, like it's just so different.
Yeah.
We value everyone and what they have to offer to the pole community.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, jumping off of that, you know, you're talking about, you know, regardless if you want to do contemporary, if you want to do lyrical, if you want to do exotic, if you want to do, you know, as I'm putting together, trying to define pole, it is almost impossible to define pole style.
Yeah.
So, you know, as a dancer who has this education in all these different varieties, what do you think attracts you to pole as a, like, stylistically? Like, what do you think is, you know, special about pole stylistically?
What I love about pole is, one, that I'm a dancer, that I can remain a dancer but still get on a pole and be an athlete. That's
Yeah.
what I love about it. It brings a lot of different worlds into one, but you're still an athlete. You
Yeah.
get to be on the ground and have movement, whether it's like an awkward movement or it's beautiful. But then you get on a pole and like you're hitting all these like flexibility lines, right? So like, let's say you're doing spatchcock and you get out of it and now you're in a handspring, and like you get to fly and almost be like a superhero, but then be on the ground and like you're steady, calm, and cool with whatever style. So what I love about pole is that, you know, there is no style. It is everything. Pole is definitely everything. You can make it whatever you want it to be. If you want it to have a more gymnast style, like performance, you can do that. If you want to be more lyrical, you can. If you want to showcase some ballet, you can. If you want to showcase jazz or hip hop, you can wear sneakers, for God's sake.
Yes.
You can be barefoot. You can wear just a dance heel. You can, you know, you can do a stripper heel. Like, no matter what it is, pole is everything. So you know, a lot of different styles together versus, you know, let's say you're on fabric. How many times do you touch the ground?
Right.
10 heels in it. You know what I mean? You're gonna be putting holes in that thing. So what I love about pole, and what attracted me to pole first, was just that, was the fact that you can make it whatever you want to be, because pole is literally everything rolled into one. So I mean, I don't know what stylistically how you would say that, but I'm just, when people ask me what is pole, I'm like, it's everything. Everything. And anything. So that's what I think, you know, compared to dance, when ballet is just ballet. Right. There is contemporary ballet, but being a ballerina, you know, I always wear point shoes. You didn't change your shoes, girl. You did not change your shoes. There wasn't a point shoe that was ever made that looked any different from another point shoe. Right. So that's what I love about pole, is that you can bring so much to it versus, you know, ballet is always going to be ballet. Exactly. It's always going to be. So, and I love ballet. It's my training. However, you know, pole, it's limited. Having a bad day, it's just, you can put on a pair of ears and clack it out. Exactly. Or I'm going to be dramatic and be on the ground and be sad and get on the pole and be silky and smooth, or I'm going to be a gymnast and be thonging, which is a flippy thing, which I know you know what it is. But they do that in circus as well. So yeah, you can make it what you want.
Yeah, and you know, so I have to ask, you know, we were talking about blending seemingly oppositional styles. Yeah. I gotta ask about the zombie burlesque. Because zombies and burlesque seem like complete opposite things in my mind. Zombies are like disgusting and like falling apart and like whatever, and the burlesque is just very like soft and beautiful and, you know, whatever. Tell me about this, please. I'm so curious.
That is so funny that you bring that up. So zombie burlesque. So basically the story of zombie burlesque, it takes place at a club after a zombie apocalypse, and everyone, and we're all performers at this, you know, club called the Z Club, right? Because it's zombies.
Of course.
And it's where humans and zombies have come together. So we're kind of like smart zombies. And I'll send you a picture. I did have crazy makeup. I had a slit throat and blood coming down. And, but then I had old 50s style hair because it was set in the 50s. Yeah. And my name was Carbon. That was me. So I did a silk act and I did a pole act. I did two different ones. Mm-hmm. And I did a ballet and I did like a point piece. But yeah, so basically I would strip on my pole act. So, yeah. classic burlesque. I mean, a little bit more fancy. I had this dead horse. So the horse was dead and a pole went right through it. So I'm assuming that's how the horse died. So
Right.
I'm above this carousel horse, but it was a zombie horse. And the humans were above us and it was a live band. So they're playing live music for us.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah, and I was, Carmen on a pole. And I lived in the circus and I came down on a carousel and that's how I would eat people. So that was my time coming down and I would showcase and, at the end I would do a layback and, I'm in pasties, nothing show, but I mean, basically, yeah, it was during a time of zombie apocalypse. And yeah, my silks number, I was a kid, like, I don't want to say a kid, but like a 15-year-old kid that comes out of a bed. So I had all these things and I have my fabric in there and I'd fly up, come out of the bed. Yeah, and cool. I would fly and take off my bra and there I am in pasties. So it was basically a club that obviously everyone died in this club. And we have our performances. Kind of think of a club now, like an old-fashioned 1950s club where you sat at small tables and we put on a show, but it was humans and zombies. The band is all human, they're not zombies.
I love it.
So, and that's why they're up higher than us, because if not, we could come.
Of course. Yeah. Gotta keep the band safe. For sure.
Oh yeah. There's a sequence where we had a man come up on stage and it was never planted. And we would hit him, the girls, we had him in this chamber, we'd lock him up and we hit him. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Cool.
It was a good time. It was a good time. It was a great point in my life to do something completely different that I've ever done. The whole zombie thing, but still trying to be sexy,
right?
And have my beautiful hair down and get on a pole and be sexy. Yet I was hungry and wanted to eat people.
Right.
And I on the sky. So
let's get in character here. Yeah. You want to eat people, but you're also sexy at the same time.
Yeah. And then you're still taking off clothes little by little in your number. So
right.
At the burlesque show where the art is the T. So I'm slowly throughout my number taking off my clothes.
That reminds me of that video that goes around Halloween where it's like a woman and she comes out and she starts stripping and then she takes her skin off and she's like a skeleton dancing around. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes.
It reminds me of that.
Like that. Yeah. I can't believe I'm a sexy zombie and people love it. They're like, that's amazing. And I opened with spatchcock. Everyone knows that's a move that I do a lot. I opened with spatchcock because it looks like, a dead person would do that.
Little disjointed.
I have limbs, I can put things behind my head. So it would open up and I'd be in spatchcock and I'd just, be doing this with my hand. So it was quite fun. It was quite fun. It was a great time of my life. So grateful.
So what projects do you have going on right now? What's up? What should we keep an eye out for?
I mean, sleeping. No, just kidding. Definitely sleeping. As of right now, I'm still gigging here in Vegas. I'm sure to see some poll videos of like, I'm doing this event or that event. I work with a lot of different production companies out here. But as far as anything lined up, there's nothing so far. It was just, let me get through this.
The Super Bowl.
And then come back and calm down a little bit.
Regroup, take a second.
Yep. And I'm still going to be teaching, I'll still be subbing at Shine. I do have my pole up here in my house, so privates are more than welcome, which I'm sure now, with all this.
Yeah, you're about to get some calls.
In general, I'm sure a lot of the pole studios here will be filled up with even more aspiring pole artists, which is going to be fabulous because that means, more people are going to be educated.
Yes.
But yeah, just gigging out here. I mean, I feel like in Vegas, there's so many people coming in and out of here, convention work. I do silk stuff. Sometimes I'm climbing on a jungle gym and hitting splits and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So I do quite a lot here. But I would love for Jennifer to go back on tour and have pole artists.
That's a great idea. Maybe we should drop a line. Hey, J-Lo.
Hey.
Maybe you should bring the pole dancers on tour with you.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Obviously.
I would definitely love for that to happen. I mean, whether that happens or not. I mean, I know she just finished her residency here not too long ago. So I don't know. She might be, and after Super Bowl, she might be taking some time off again. Yeah. Everyone to regroup. But I
You have
mean,
those custom light up poles already made and ready to go.
I'm just saying, and like, what is anyone going to do with them? I mean, now they're going to sit in a storage facility. So I
let's put them to
pray.
use, J-Lo. Let's put them to use.
Yeah, girl, we got you. We know how it works. We can deal with 52 millimeter. It's all good. We got it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're just going to see a lot of me coaching, teaching.
Love it.
I have my part-time at Mandalay Bay, cocktailing at the pool, as well as Tilted Kill. So, here I go. Here's another outfit, that is scandalous, but yet it is worldwide accepted. So,
there you go.
But yes, so just a lot of teaching, just gigging here and there. And,
cool.
The world is waiting for more pole. And I know that. I know
you will be here for them when they're ready for you.
Exactly. We will both be there for them when we're ready. I mean, all of us pole artists, we're like, let's go. We got you. We're going to show you how this is an Olympic sport.
We've just been here waiting for the rest of the world to catch up with us.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Exactly. And then not to mention, just a little hint, Chinese pole artists wear pads. Okay? They wear pads. And what do we wear? Nothing. It's skin on chrome. Skin on chrome, girl.
Right.
So, I'm doing a shoulder mount. They're doing all the hups. They're popping up.
Yeah. They have pads? Wait, they have
whole
pads?
Time. Everything has pads on it.
What? They're cheating.
Completely cheating. While we're like getting all these burns, here. They have pads on, girl.
I've been walking around with a permanent bruise on my shoulder for the past 7 years. And they have pads.
They have pads, girl.
I quit.
So they have it easy. So that's the other thing that people don't know,
Oh,
so
my
I
goodness.
to mention that because I'm like, we're kind of
Thank you for telling me that. Because I did not know that. And that's okay. All right. I see how it is.
Now there should be even more respect. I'm like, oh, they're wearing pads. They're like, oh, their poor shoulder hurts. No, ours are bleeding.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I laughed when I saw a costume. Someone took off a costume. And I'm like,
cheating. Okay.
We do everything that they do with, weighted heels or not, and with pads. So I'm just saying.
Okay. See, now we know. We know.
Exactly.
Talia, thank you so much for your time. I very much appreciate you chatting with me. And I will definitely keep an eye out for any upcoming JLo tours. We're going to put the word out, try to get that in her mind. All right. Thank you so much, Talia.
Thank you so much for having me. You are a true gem. Thank you.
Thank you.